Power often comes with privileges, and most presidents in the world live lives filled with wealth, protection, and luxury. Some inherit influence, while others fight their way to the top against all odds. In the story of Rwanda's President Paul Kagame, we see a man who rose from being a refugee child in Uganda to becoming the leader of the very country that once forced him into exile. His life is a journey that feels like the ultimate homecoming, a tale of resilience, ambition, and transformation. Paul Kagame was born in 1957 in a small village called Tambwe, located in southern Rwanda. His parents, Deogracias Kagame and Asteria Rutagambwa, were not wealthy, and his childhood was defined by hardship. Growing up during a time of ethnic tensions in Rwanda, his family soon found themselves caught in escalating violence. This turmoil forced them to flee across the border into Uganda, leaving behind their homeland, their community, and all they knew. Kagame's early years in exile shaped much of the determination that would later define his leadership. In Uganda, the young refugee began building a new life. He attended Intare school, where fate introduced him to Yoweri Museveni, the man who would later become Uganda's president. Their friendship grew over the years, especially as both young men developed ambitions beyond the classroom. Kagame would later continue his studies at Makerere University in Kampala, where Uganda itself was entering turbulent times under the iron rule of Idi Amin. When Uganda became engulfed in war, Kagame found himself once again in the middle of conflict. Museveni formed a rebel group to resist Amin's dictatorship, and Kagame joined the struggle. Their forces eventually managed to topple the government in the late 1980s. By then, Kagame had carved a reputation for himself, becoming Museveni's chief of intelligence. Even with his growing stature in Uganda, Kagame never forgot the reality that as a Rwandan refugee, he still faced discrimination and suspicion from some Ugandans. This stigma fueled his desire to reclaim his homeland. Together with other Rwandan exiles, including Major General Fred Gisa Rwigema, he co-founded the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF. Their mission was clear: to fight for their right to return home and to reshape the future of Rwanda. In 1990, while Kagame was undergoing advanced military training at the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College in Fort Leavenworth, Kansas, the RPF launched an invasion of Rwanda. The campaign faced tragedy early on when Fred Rwigema was killed. Leadership then fell squarely on Kagame's shoulders. For the next 12 years, Kagame steered the movement through bitter conflict. Eventually, a peace agreement was signed in 2002, bringing a fragile stability to Rwanda. By 2003, Kagame became the official president of Rwanda, and he has remained in power ever since. His leadership turned him into one of Africa's most recognized and controversial figures, with a story that shifts from hardship to luxury, from exile to presidential palaces. Today, Kagame no longer resembles the boy who once struggled in refugee camps or the young fighter in rebel wars. He now lives a lifestyle defined by power, prestige, and extraordinary wealth. His taste for luxury is evident in the air he travels, the cars he drives, and the protective shield that surrounds him. Take his private jet collection, for instance. Kagame owns some of the most exclusive aircraft in the world, transforming his travels into flying presidential palaces. His prized possession is a Gulfstream G650ER, worth around $65 million. This is no ordinary jet. It's outfitted with a custom conference room, plush leather seats, and state-of-the-art communication systems that allow him to govern Rwanda even while cruising at 40,000 feet. For a man once forced to flee his homeland, ruling the nation from the skies is both symbolic and luxurious. But the Gulfstream isn't his only toy in the skies. Rwanda also purchased 2 Bombardier Global Express 7500 jets in 2003 and 2008, each worth around $50 million. Although the government initially claimed these planes belonged to private ventures, it later became clear they were strictly for Kagame's use. With private bedrooms, high-end seating, and long-range capacity, these jets are favored for discreet international trips. It is the lifestyle of someone who no longer just fights for survival. He now soars above the world in absolute comfort. On the ground, Kagame's taste in cars is just as extravagant. At the top of his collection sits the Rolls-Royce Phantom, a car synonymous with royalty and global celebrities. The 2024 model is valued at about $550,000, though Kagame's version is custom-built with bulletproof armor, reinforced glass, and hidden security features. Its handcrafted leather seats, polished wood interior, and flawless engineering make it a moving fortress, blending beauty with ultimate protection. To navigate areas where security concerns still linger, Kagame turns to his armored Range Rover Sentinel. On the outside, it looks like any other luxury SUV, but it is designed to withstand bullets, explosions, and even chemical attacks. It comes with emergency escape systems, run-flat tires, and specialized air filters that can protect him from biological threats. With a base price of $500,000, this machine is both a statement of wealth and a necessity for a president whose country has lived through violent history. His fleet also includes a Mercedes-Benz S600, valued at around $118,000. While less expensive than the Rolls-Royce or the Range Rover, it is packed with advanced technology. One of its standout features is night vision capability, giving the driver the ability to see clearly even in complete darkness. This makes the car as practical as it is luxurious, offering security and comfort during both day and night travels. Of course, luxury and power would be incomplete without security. Kagame, once a soldier himself, understands the importance of protection. His Presidential Guard is an elite unit of hand-picked men and women trained in intelligence, special operations, and advanced combat. Among them is his own son, Ian Kagame, reflecting the deep trust he places in family and loyalty. His motorcades are heavily fortified, often including armored vehicles, motorcycles, and escort cars, all designed to neutralize threats before they get anywhere close. Kagame also invests heavily in technology for his safety. Drones conduct aerial surveillance, communication systems link his guards in real time, and his residences are rumored to include underground bunkers equipped with life support systems capable of sustaining his family for weeks in case of a major crisis. In a country that once lived through genocide and war, Kagame spares no expense in ensuring his safety. His leadership style may invite both admiration and criticism, but one thing is certain: Kagame's personal life reflects the sharp contrast between his early years and his present reality. He began as a refugee who lost everything, a young man forced to start life over in a foreign land. Today, he sits at the head of a nation, surrounded by jets worth millions, cars that symbolize wealth and status, and security that rivals some of the most protected leaders in the world. The story of Paul Kagame is more than just about politics. It is about survival, transformation, and the allure of power. From barefoot beginnings in a village in Rwanda to reclining in leather seats inside a $65 million aircraft, his life embodies the idea of rising from nothing to everything. What fascinates people most about Kagame is not just his political journey, but the life he built after seizing power. His private jets show a man who enjoys comfort in the skies. His cars demonstrate a taste for elegance and security on the roads. His guard and bunkers remind everyone that he never forgets Rwanda's violent past. At the end of the day, Paul Kagame's story is a paradox: an exiled boy who became a president, a rebel fighter who turned into a world traveler in luxury, a survivor of war who now shields himself with unimaginable protection. His life raises questions about what leadership means, how power changes people, and whether such luxury can ever be separated from the sacrifices that paved the way to it. So, When you look at Kagame today, do you see the refugee who fought to reclaim his homeland, or the president whose lifestyle now mirrors the wealthiest elite on earth? Perhaps he is both, the product of history, resilience, and the irresistible draw of power.